Time to tell you who to start and sit in fantasy football for Week 10, as we usually do here on CBS Local Sports. Alongside Dave Richard and Jamie Eisenberg, I'm Ryan Bass. Give me that red flag, by the way, Dave. I need the challenge flag.
My pocket square.
I need the challenge flag.
No, that's how
It looks awful. Who folded that for you?
My mother.
You throw the challenge flag on Jamie because his start of the week was Derek Carr over my boy, Blake Bortles. Shame on you.
Well, Carr should be better.
Well, I got to hear the argument before I throw it.
I think both guys have a good opportunity this week, but Carr's got a higher ceiling, especially if Allen Hurns is out for the Jaguars. And that's even if Amari Cooper's out. I still think you'll see a better game for Derek Carr. Look, he's got a great matchup against Minnesota at home. He's been fantastic each of the last 3 weeks. 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. I don't think Minnesota's defense is going to slow down what Derek Carr has been doing.
Pocket square, challenge flag, not thrown.
Wow.
I think Derek Carr's a good start.
Jamie. Okay, then who are we sitting then?
Matthew Stafford is going up against Green Bay. It's in Green Bay. I think it's going to be trouble for him. Go take a look at his track record against the Packers. He's had some good games against them, but not before playing them once in a season first. You know, they're division rivals. They play each other twice a year. That first meeting, every single time for Matthew Stafford, has been a nightmare for him. It's going to continue this week, even with Calvin Johnson. I think Calvin's fine to start, but I don't think there's really anybody else. Maybe Eric Ebron is okay. No one else on Detroit that I like. Stafford's going to throw a bunch of turnovers.
Let's focus on some running backs and a lot of dilemmas between Jeremy Hill or Giovanni Bernard. Would you take Bernard in that scenario?
I would. I think he's the better running back right now in Cincinnati. Hill, very touchdown dependent. Giovanni Bernard might score a touchdown, but I think he's a better bet for 100 total yards. He's already had 4 games this year with double digits in fantasy points. He's going to get another one against Houston on Monday night.
Same story with the Bengals running backs. The Broncos have had their fair share of conundrums in that backfield. Ronnie Hillman this week, are we starting or sitting him?
I think you should sit him. I don't think he's 100% healthy. You know, he had a thigh bruise 2 games ago in that game where he did great against the Packers, but I think you saw last week, 7 carries for 1 yard. C.J. Anderson's looked better, and I think if the Broncos do what they should, it gives C.J. Anderson an opportunity to see if he can reclaim his starting job. It's a tough matchup against Kansas City. They've been good against the run. Hillman struggled against them in their first matchup in week 2. He's an easy guy to sit this week. If you do have to choose between the two, you go C.J. Anderson.
At wide receiver, Allen Robinson should be in for a big game.
He should be. 4 straight games of double digits in fantasy points. Was great last week against Darrelle Revis. It's a much easier matchup. If Allen Hurns is out, there should be more targets for Robinson. I think he's at the point where he's unbenchable.
Brandon LaFell is somebody that came back and has been a target machine, Dave, yet you are not high on him this week. Why?
I'm not, because I think the Patriots are going to win this game with their inside receivers and their tight end, Rob Gronkowski. I think Edelman has a monster day. Danny Amendola, especially with Deion Lewis now out for the year, I think he steps up. LaFell's going to be stranded on the outside. Not that he's going up against a great cornerback, but the Giants have a couple of good ones, and I think it's going to make it troublesome for LaFell to get good yards.
That'd be a good nickname for him if he continues to struggle. Danny Amendola.
Take your pick at tight end. Would you rather have Travis Kelce or Jason Witten?
It'll depend on league scoring. I think it's real close between the two of them. If it's a standard scoring league, give me Kelce. But if it's a PPR league, I think Jason Witten can come through. I think he does better than these projections say against the Tampa Bay secondary. That's just not very good. Matt Castle's starting to turn it around a little bit last week. I think if you're looking for 6 catches, 6 yards from Jason Witten, I think he'll deliver.
You want to sit somebody at tight end this week? You think Benjamin Watson could actually get put on the bench?
He's still a top 12 guy by default just because of the way Drew Brees has played. But the Redskins have done very well against opposing tight ends for the majority of the season, and they're the best team to stop Rob Gronkowski so far. Held him to 4 catches for 47 yards.
Here we go.
I think you look at Watson, he's been better at home than he has been on the road. You've seen that performance. And look, he had a little bit of a struggle last week with Josh Hill and Michael Humanauanui taking touchdowns away from him. So Drew Brees not afraid to spread the ball around. I think, again, he'll be good enough to get you production, but I think guys like Eric Ebron and Jordan Reed should be better than this week.
Humanauanui, you didn't even flinch on that. That was good.
That's an easy one to say.
That was good. Those are your starts and sits for Week 10.
Not Schmug Schmartin.
On CBS Local Sports.